Hello everyone, good day. This is the continuation of our report for your deeper understanding about our topic, needs analysis. I'm your reporter, Ms. Leona C. Umali, of course from BSed English 3 of Group 2, and our subject for today is Heading 117, Elective 1, English for Specific Purposes. So let's start, have fun, and learn. Needs analysis, the specific needs of a particular learner group serves as the prelude to an ESP course design. NA or needs analysis is used commonly in ESP or English for specific purposes to find out what learners needs or what learners' needs are. Without the needs analysis, a successful outcome cannot be expected at the end of the course, because it determines the what and how of an ESP course. As you observe, it mentioned here the what and how of an ESP course. And these two are very significant in doing needs analysis. Just like for example, what kind of needs are expected to be met and how it is going to be done. These question is important for us to analyze clearly what the needs of our learning or our learner and how we respond to them. Okay, next slide. Chen 2006 also reached the conclusion that ESP course designers should explore and identify the learner's potential needs in the first place. It is relevant on Brown 2016. He points out that when collecting data from learners are very crucial. It means, except for addressing the needs of the learners, we must go beyond, like explore, conclude, and identify what learners could possibly attain more. As course designer, you must search thoroughly because it can result for bringing out the learner's potential, like the highlighted part in this presentation. So, next slide. What is undisputed fact is that any ESP course should be needs-driven and has an emphasis on practical outcomes. Significantly, the goal of needs analysis, or one goal of NA, is to provide a concrete and effective outcomes or results to our learners, because our target as a teacher is their specific needs. After we address that, we will probably get the practical outcome that is written here as an assurance that they really learn the language or the course. So, next slide. Therefore, needs analysis is and always be an important and fundamental part of ESP. Therefore, needs analysis or the NA is the most important part of ESP syllabus. This is done to find out the institution needs, learners needs, and target needs. Okay, next slide again. It is the cornerstone of ESP and leads to a very focused course. NA has an important role in the process of designing and implementing ESP courses. That the significance of planning or the whole process that only engage in needs analysis, from determining the what and how, from considering the needs of learners into looking for their potential, and also from the implementation to again achieve the overall practical outcomes that, if you remember, we discussed previously. And that's the significance of the cornerstone of ESP and leads to a very focused course. Yes. So, next slide again. Seeking out learners' needs is in recognition of the fact that in ESP, the learners have different specific and specificable communicative needs which they want to achieve by undergoing the course. Like, it is given that we are always reminded that the focus of needs analysis, especially ESP or English for specific purposes, is to find and address the real needs of our learners. That's why we also familiar that students or learners have, or we are familiar that students or learners have different and own learning style, and that exactly we address and providing them. In short, that's the purpose of needs analysis in and ESP, is for giving them and supplying them real experiences through undergoing with different lectures, specific methods or activities, etc., for them to uphold and use their learning. So, next slide. Needs analysis is the process of establishing what and how of a course. So, I think this is already discussed previously, so let's jump to the other slide. Okay. Analysis is evolved in the 1970s to include deficiency analysis or assessment of the learning gap between target language used and current learner proficiencies. Needs analysis is done to find out what language skills a learner needs in order to perform a particular role, to identify a gap between what learners are able to do and what they need to be able to do, to find out their previous experience in learning English. So, this is the last slide of my report. The course designer should take cognizance of the fact that there may be variation between the learner's needs and that of the teacher or the guardian. So, that's the end of my report. I hope you learned something. Thank you again for listening.